When did working full time stop being enough to afford a normal life?
Young adults are getting smoked in every direction financially right now.
The federal poverty line for a family of four is $32,150. For an individual, it's $15,650.
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this.
You ever notice how everyone just seems a little more exhausted lately in society today? And I'm not talking about like physically tired, but I'm talking about financially, okay? Because the cost of living isn't just going up anymore, okay? It really feels like it's pushing people to the edge. A few years ago, if someone had a decent job, worked full time, the expectation was very simple for most of us. You should at least be able to pay your bills, afford groceries, and maybe even save a little bit, right? Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just stability. But nowadays, bro, rent has absolutely exploded. Groceries cost notably more every single month, okay? Insurance is a death sentence now, let's just be honest. And gas pumps are freaking just going crazy nowadays. Even basic utilities seem to creep up year after year. Did y'all notice that? And the strange part is about all this is that people are still working just as hard, if not harder, but they're earning less and less by the year. Many people are working two jobs. They are freelancing on the side, driving for apps like Uber and stuff like that, and they're selling their personal things online just to stay in the same place financially. Not get ahead, okay? I'm just talking about not falling behind. And that's where real pressure comes from, honestly, because when the cost of living rises faster than wages, life will stop feeling like progress and it will start feeling like a treadmill that keeps speeding up. You run harder, but you're not actually moving forward, if that makes sense. And that honestly will have consequences that go way beyond money. People will delay having kids, they postpone buying homes, and they stay in jobs they hate because the risk of losing income is just too high for them. I believe that financial stress is the number one contributor to mental stress, okay? You'll see it everywhere. People arguing about money more, feeling anxious about bills, or just carrying that constant low-grade worry in the back of their heads, okay? And here's the part that really frustrates a lot of Americans, okay? When officials talk about the economy, they often focus on things like the, stock markets, the unemployment numbers, the GDP and stuff like that. But those numbers don't always reflect what everyday life looks like. Because for millions of people, the question isn't, is the economy technically growing? The real question is much simpler. Why does it feel harder to live a normal life? Why does the same paycheck buy less and less every single year? And at some point, people stop seeing rising costs as temporary issues, and then they'll start seeing it as a system that isn't working for them anymore. And when enough people really feel squeezed out enough, frustration will start to build up. Not just frustration with the prices or the cost of living, but I'm talking about the frustration with the idea that working hard will no longer guarantee you stability. That is a crazy realization to come to, because historically, that was the deal for many of us. Work hard, play by the rules, you'll build a decent life. But now you can work so hard that you still won't be guaranteed that. And I believe that most of people are not asking for luxury, okay? Don't let social media fool you. Most of us are not asking for luxury, okay? Most people aren't demanding mansions or yachts. They are asking for something way more simpler than that. They are asking for a life where working full time means that you can afford a home, food, healthcare, and some daggum breathing room, man.
Everything is just so damn expensive right now. It's insane. Nothing extravagant, just went out of town for spring break, get a nice change of scenery, do something different. Didn't even pay for flights. Drove to my destination, which is about 4 hours away. And the amount of money that I spent just from eating out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent this much on one meal just for me to turn around and be hungry again in 2 hours. God damn, I'm so tired of this.
Every year, I put together my number, which is what I need to make every month just to exist. And this year, it's high. Okay, so let me get this straight. Per month, $2,152 for housing by itself. This includes the mortgage, taxes, flood insurance, which doesn't do anything, as I learned firsthand, and home insurance. So that's over $2,000 a month just to own a house. Off to a great start. Now let's go to the bills. Utilities. This includes water, sewage, and garbage. This is $260 a month on average. I tried saving water. It doesn't make a difference. The bill just keeps going up every month, so I've completely given up. Energy bill. This goes up and down throughout the year, but the average is about $200 a month. Health insurance. This is way different for everybody, but for me this year, I'm paying $363 a month. This, of course, is for the lowest possible plan that I can have. After all this, I have internet, which is $85 a month. That's up 100% since 5 years ago. I pay someone to cut the lawn $75 a month, which is actually a great deal. This puts my grand total of just existing every month at $3,387. And mind you, this is before food. This is before clothes. This is before going to a gym. This is literally just breathing and existing. That's $40,644 a year. And on top of all that, I can't just make $40,000 and pay it off. I have to make an extra 30% because I have to pay taxes. So that means to pay taxes and all of my bills, no groceries or nothing, I have to make $4,400 a month. This is $52,000 a year to exist. That just doesn't, I can't do that. Does anyone else feel like that is just completely unattainable? So I'm just curious, like, what your number is a month.
Food is high, and these are tough times.
Tough times reflected in Oregon's 2026 cost of living report. Data collected by State Treasurer Elizabeth Steiner shows financial hardship is growing more common.
And we're just all confused and just trying to survive out here.
73% of Oregonians report cutting down on expenses to pay for food. 53% say they still struggle to pay bills.
We got to prepare for the times we're in. Just shop smarter.
I can't even shop in my own neighborhood anymore. All the stores like in Portland are really getting out of hand. Like groceries, when I went last time, when I tried to get a pack of strawberries, it was like $7 to $9 at all the stores for one pack of strawberries.
Treasurer Steiner says nearly half of Oregonians can't afford a $500 emergency and might turn to credit.
By the end of the month, they've run out of money until they get their next paycheck. And so as a result, more Oregonians are using credit cards to pay for essential things like food or gas or utility bills.
The report shows debt is at an all-time high, as are interest rates. Bankruptcy filings increased 25% between 2024 and 2025.
The more things happen like what's happening in the world now, it's going to get higher.
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. What money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
Someone said we are no longer a paycheck away from homelessness. We are one sick day away from homelessness. And that is so true for so many people. And I hate that for our country.
The federal poverty line for a family of 4 is $32,150. For an individual, it's $15,650. If that sounds crazy to you, that's because it is. I know people who are paying more than $32,000 a year just for childcare. A Wall Street portfolio manager recently went viral for saying that the new poverty line for a family of 4 should actually be $140,000. He's gotten a lot of pushback for saying that, but $32,000 is definitely way too low. Here's how he broke down the basic needs budget for a family of 4 where both parents have jobs and there are 2 children. $32,000 for childcare, $23,000 for housing, $15,000 for food, $15,000 for transportation, $11,000 for healthcare, and $22,000 for other essential things. The median household income in 2024 was $83,730, but a lot of families making $80,000 feel like they're barely scraping by. What amount of money would let you live comfortably?
Young adults are getting smoked in every direction financially right now. Rent is up 30% in recent years, groceries up over 20%, yet incomes haven't grown nearly as fast. How are people supposed to get ahead? Cost of living is out of control.